Dear Venerable Sisters and Brothers, Dhamma friends, today also we are going to start the question and answer session. We'll start as usual with the written questions to start the session. So we'll invite Lakshmi to present the question and start the session, please.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you. Thank you, Venerable Sir.
You have to turn the mic. Yes.
Thank you, Sir. Venerable Sir, there are 10 questions today. 8 of them are on sitting and the other 2 are on the Dhamma talks that were given yesterday. Yes.
Some improvements.
Actually, Sir, there are about 3 or 4 more questions. We can't ask them all. We can't ask all the questions. There are another 3 or 4 in addition to these 10. Most Venerable Bhante, during my sitting meditation, I sit relaxed here and now. After a while, I note my breath, starting from my abdomen, coming up to my nostrils. After a few minutes, the attention of my breath stays at the nostrils. Then the grossness of the breath changes to a lightness gradually. Soon thereafter, I take a deep, long breath. At this point, I lose the noting of my breath at the nostrils. My mind feels settled. No distractions or inner chatter occur, except for fleeting moments now and again. Question. Since I lost the noting of my breath at a certain point, do I have to recommence the process over again? Please advise. May you attain Nibbana.
So this, we can attribute it to the phenomena called cessation. So cessation is something very highly appreciated by the Buddha, that the third truth of suffering. So when you start the breath, as far as you are with the breath, that indicates you are not with the worldly matters, you are not with the Nissarana or obsessions. So therefore 2-3 steps ahead, you know you are with the object. So as far as you are concurrent with the object, you are continuing with the object, that means you are getting rid of this worldly suffering, worldly tension, and distractions and the obsessions is not available. So that means you are sure. The concurrent connection with the object means that you are fairly with the mindfulness aligned with the object. And then if you are sharp enough, you are bound to see that very object is transitional. It is changing into its shapes, manners and the natural characteristics. Overall we can say, more you observe the object of meditation, it is slowly start to cease, so cessation starts. So whenever cessation happens, that is the only thing, or that's the most important thing in your meditation. But yogis always try to stop cessation and to start something or disturbing it. So whole interview is nothing but to indicate when the cessation starts, please facilitate, please let it happen. But no one is happy to do it. So therefore you may read the last 3 sentences to see, very nicely explained. And the last 3 sentences say your whole knowledge, your rational knowledge is completely destroying that natural trend of cessation, and this is not a personal mistake. This is our ignorance. This is our lack of understanding. This is our lack of faith. So we may listen to the last 3 sentences.
After a few minutes, the attention of my breath stays at the nostrils. Then the grossness of the breath changes to a lightness gradually. Soon thereafter, I take a deep, long breath. At this point, I lose the noting of my breath at the nostrils. My mind feels settled. No distractions or inner chatter occur except for fleeting moments now and again.
So I am asking the last 3 sentences.
So you want a question? Okay.
The last 3 sentences.
Since I lost the noting of my breath at a certain point, do I have to recommence the process over again?
So when once clean, should I import some defilements? Should I go to the supermarket and bring some packet of defilements and again, infest it or inoculate it? Or this way I hear, but only you said only one sentence. I am asking for the last 3 sentences.
Okay. Please advise, may you attain Nibbana.
Okay, so that means if I say yes, bring any work and again start with breath or Buddhanusati or kind of thing, I will definitely attain Nibbana according to this wish. But I am not that. I am telling the whole of this meditation is the cessation. When the cessation happens, don't agitate it. Don't refresh it. Because cessation happens when all the conducive conditions happen. It's a very, very rare situation. But the thing is, our mind hates it. Our mind needs events, dramatic things, to do something rather than cessation. So therefore, not in this time, even with the previous Buddha's time also, you would have done some meditation. You would have experienced cessation, but we never know how to facilitate it. Because cessation appear like losing, appear like outcasting, appear like lost connections, appear like no boundaries, you lost. So therefore your crafty mind always try to import something. So therefore not to do something is the best thing at that moment. But you can't. You can't. Because I, the ego, the conceit, never happy not to do something. It wish something to do. Doing everything is defilement. Sabbe sankara dukkha. Any will, evil. So at that moment, try to let it happen, so that cessation will continue, and you feel like lost. What is losing is your egotistic idea. What are you losing is your conceit. What are you losing is your craving. So therefore in the Anguttara Nikaya, the book of gradual sayings, book of 1, the Buddha mentioned there are about 13 odd number of discourses. The theme is the same. The Buddha says, defilement never arises without an object. Whatever the object, that is a clear sign of a defilement. So whenever that object ceases to exist, that particular defilement ceases to exist. Whenever again object arises means again another defilement. So therefore, knowing that the object may be a matter, object may be a sign, it may be a feeling, perception, your volitional involvement, and understanding the object and me as two things, anything can be your object of meditation. Each and every object means a defilement. So therefore, arising and passing away of the defilement is happening. So understand, don't do forcefully, introduce defilements by force breathing, or by entertaining doubts, or by introducing this and that. So see your possibility, your capacity, just observe, doing nothing. Just let this progress happens unhindered, and there you can see how much your egotistic idea come and give different opinions. And your conceit is coming and suggesting this and that craftsmanship. And your desire, they are going to show by different manifestations. So if you wish to observe your egotistic idea, ego trip, or if you wish to understand your conceit, if you wish to understand your craving, when you just observe on the nothingness, they come as proposals, as opinions, as shall we do this and that kind of thing. Just observe it. Don't be happy, don't be proud, don't evade them, don't try to escape them, just see. What is their agenda? Does it calculate your well-being, or it just take you for a ride? So this is what happens. Whenever our mind becomes relaxed, one or the other defilement and take for a ride, and we are very proud about that very right, or that very opinion, and that is what ultimately we have worked. But whose agenda? So here we can see by a statement or by a letter or by an expression how crafty it is happening and how vulnerable we are if we are not endowed with the faith, if we are not endowed with our precepts, if we are not endowed with our mindfulness. Where are we? What is happening? What is the agenda? So think about a day before we came to understanding about the mindfulness. What was the agenda? What was the guiding, leading force? Utter darkness. Utter darkness. Even with this kind of a situation also, you can see mind is shamelessly come and ask, can I put this on, come and do this one or that one? And there it means I took a wrong in-breath. No, you are not taking, it is a system. This is not taking in-breath, this is happening in-breath. But you can't make it out whether it is you do or it is happening. So observe it again and again. So I am proposing this long in-breath is not something you do. It is something you happen to you. The day you understand it is not what I did, but it is happening to me, you see this body, I am not the owner. I am not the person perceiving. It is someone else. It is the drama. This is just a stage. A lot of drama takes place. It is tragedy or a comedy. So if you are going to cry according to the tragedy and comedy, being you are the owner of the stage, so it is a kind of such a joke. Understand the stage and the drama. And you have, it is hired off. Someone has hired it and they are playing drama. So why should you, and Venerable Buddhadasa from the Thailand, he says, when you are screening a picture, if there is a volcano, will that volcano burn the screen? Will there is a waterfall, will that wet your screen? No. They are just images. So the same screen is housing or allowing waterfalls to happen, and the volcanoes to happen, but the screen is the screen. So screen is not getting heated up or cooled down because of what it is happening. Likewise, whatever the scenery passes, it won't hurt the screen. Whatever the clouds passing, sky never gets smeared. Sky is far away. We are taking moods and everything on the clouds. So likewise, just see. Cessation happens, again appearing happens, long in-breath happens, short in-breath happens. Of course, at the beginning you are adverting, you are diverting, you are focusing your attention. After a while, everything happening, but you can't make it out, it is you do or it is happening. But when and where there is nothing, if you are going to come and impose something, introduce something, definitely that is something you do. So don't do. Just let it happen and see how much you can observe as a blind person. How much you can keep it. Sabba papa sakarana, first do no harm. Main thing is not to do something and wait, then only you can understand the cause and effect. As far as you walk fingers and you are trying to manipulate it, very difficult for you to sort it out whether is something happening or you do. So therefore have a idea right from the beginning. When the meditation is catching, don't add anything, just let the meditation to go. So in my terminology, I say, put into the autopiloting mode and just observe. See what is going to happen.
Thank you, sir. The next question is on night sitting meditation. After doing walking meditation in the upper sandy forest area, my body was vibrating more than usual. Suddenly my breath was still. My body could not be felt for some time. My mind was bored and entertained me with the idea that maybe all the monkeys outside the meditation center were former yogis.
No, former monks. Monks and monkeys. I see a lot of similarities.
This shocked me so much that I told my mind to shut up and show me some impermanence so that I could at least become Sovan. Then I realized that starting from the arising and cessation of the breath, everything was impermanent. And then my breath reappeared as a slight vibration. Then I heard the rain and noted it as hearing, and the sound disappeared. Felt my thigh muscles stretched and a slight pain in my shoulder, which I noted as pain, and that too ended. Then no breath, no body, and I was covered with a biting sensation all over. Then I smelt my neighbor freshly washed and smelling of eau de cologne. I noted smelling, but the smell did not go. I guess I know something about Bhavatanha now. Feeling happy, I decided to end 1 hour of meditation. Thank you, Bhante, for guiding us. May you continue to enjoy your spiritual happiness.
Same to you. Please continue, and then you can see how much the walking going to give the reality as such. And if you can do the same kind of a equilibrium and go to the sitting meditation and continue with the least amount of distraction from walking to sitting, it's a continuation will be there. And one day you will see whole day you can have this thread of mindfulness, whatever the posture, whatever the object happens. So that day you are worth calling a yogi. Otherwise you cannot be a monkey in the next life. You have to be a qualified yogi to be a monkey. So to be a qualified yogi, whole day you must have mindfulness. But becoming a monk, easy way to become a monkey. I find monks and monkeys are many similarities. So we'll go to the next question.
Most Venerable Bhante, sitting meditation. I start by watching the rising and falling, and after a few minutes, my mindfulness sets in on the in-breath and out-breath. After watching the breath, I get into a state where no thoughts are appearing, calming down of the breath, and then in a steady state of just being with full awareness of what is happening within myself, just like I am opened into an empty space. Time to time my head bends forward and I straighten it and maintain the same state of mind. This happens continuously till the session ends. However, if I have 5 sittings a day, I get into this state only about 2 times. Much merit for all your guidance. May you achieve all your spiritual goals in this life itself.
So this same thing what explained in the sitting, if he or she can explain with respect to the primary object, the thing will be revealed. how was the primary object, and with respect to what kind of primary object, it's a gross level or medium level or subtle level, you start bending the head. You start the posture become uncontrollable with respect to primary object, then there is a consistency. But the other outer parts, outer examples, outer information given, with respect to primary object only you or the listener can understand what happens. So that means that it is without a theme. The theme is see this slack mind or slack body or turning body or any knowing or unknowing situation with respect to the primary object, then very easy for you to understand. It's something like you are making a dressing in front of a mirror like. You can see what is happening. So therefore add your relationship with your primary object, then it will be more revealing than this. So anyway, we will go further because today we have enough questions.
Maybe you can re-put this question tomorrow with that additional information, please. Yeah. And need to come to us. Most Venerable Bhante, sitting meditation. Primary object is the in and out breath. Gradually breath goes from gross to subtle breath. Slowly the breath becomes soft and fades away. Through mindfulness I can see breath entering through the nostrils, and with a slight pause I can feel the out breath. Throughout meditation, bodily pains are observed, but mindfulness is intact and strong. But it is frustrating to continue meditation.
Please repeat that with the previous sentence, please.
Throughout meditation, bodily pains are observed, but mindfulness is intact and strong. But it is frustrating to continue meditation. How do I deal with these bodily pains that arise unexpectedly? Much merit to you, Bhante. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you.
So this frustration is the early sign of the first noble truth of suffering. Whenever you facilitate this frustration, welcome this frustration, that you are almost close to the truth of suffering. But we reject it. We think it is something wrong. We think it is something disheartening. We see something punishable like. So Venerable Sariputta says, the truth of suffering, the first truth, it's acquainted with four characteristics: torturing nature, burning nature, ever-changing phase, and it is happening with due causes. So whenever the torturing nature happens, when the burning nature happens, you have to understand now this is what you call the truth of suffering. In this samsara, how much you have rejected it. Truth of suffering is daily visiting our house. We say, no, not today, come tomorrow. Keep on visiting. So in the meditation, if you go with faith, if you go with precepts, if you go with mindfulness and say, this irritation is the messenger. It is the precursor. It's the early sign. And who is asking us to be equanimous with this son? No single teacher on the earth. They always ask, do this and that, and try to avoid this irritation, try to avoid this frustration, try to avoid this, so ever we are searching. The day you accept it, finished. To accept you must have kind of a gladness, kind of a preparedness, kind of a immunity. Whether you accept it or not, it is the situation. So instead of fighting, instead of reacting, instead of assuming, just accept it. It's a huge galvanizing effect. Your personality will be utterly galvanized and reinforced. So then what? Yes, frustration is there. The burning nature is there. And the torturing nature is there. So rejection means your acceptance in the sense. But acceptance means you are ready to put up with. And see, even the king as well as the subject, both of them are suffering. In the same way, the doctor as well as the patient, utterly in the same suffering. Parents as well as the children, utterly in the same suffering. Teachers as well as the students, utterly in the same suffering. But no one is ready to accept. They think there may be some kind of a escapism. This is what you call the worldly knowledge. Worldly knowledge completely depend upon wrong perception. Michaditi. Always think the irritation is something to be avoided. The Buddha says, accept this is the first noble truth. The friction, unsatisfactoriness, the irritation. And when in the meditation, if it is happening when you go prepared, that means to accept it with the gladness, no one is opposing you. It's very difficult. It appears like a nihilistic. It appears like negative. It appears like defeated. No, they accept it and see. Everyone may complain, but it is not a question, it's an answer. It's something earned in your mindfulness. And it says that body is always painful, mind is intact and powerful. Then only you see this body fire, the burning nature, the torturing nature, because of your mindfulness. But it is frustrating, it is boring, it is monotonous, it is slimy, it is sloth and torpor, it is lost-like, and it is uncomfortable and uncertainty. So much of a thing when the truth is coming to you. So we have to say sorry. Sorry.com. www.sorry.com. When the truth comes, and we are armed and with the whole this thing and going to the war, and when the truth is coming, we run in the fast forward, not the fast forward, fast backward. Everyone. So who the teacher can directly tell, hug it. Take this as an answer. This is an endowment. Accept the amount that you can do, and ever you are increasing. The day you hug your death, the day you hug the most excruciating pain, the next moment you are so hilarious. When you climb the mountain, other part is a slope. So if you climb almost up and come back, it is like a defeat. Just surpass. Other side also coming back, but you coming back hilarious. If you go over the same side, you come back as a defeated person. So therefore the Buddha is asking, when closing the pinnacle, just jump. Just go aside, other side. So it is a preparation of your mind. And that is, the whole meditation is nothing but for that confidence. So therefore the sentence is very clearly indicated. As far as pain is there, concentration is, my mindfulness is intact and powerful. So you have to make it a rock carving, or make a tattoo here in your chest. When and where body pain is there, mindfulness is intact and it is very strong. So then you will not look down it as a bad thing, because you can see your tattoo all the time. Yeah. Whenever the body pain is there, mindfulness is there, and it is powerful. What else you need? Yes? Okay. You put a tattoo here, or rock carving. Whenever the body pain is there, that means you are utterly mindful. Not only that, it's very powerful. And facilitate it, then you are ready to accept the first truth of suffering. Already you are on the way. But imagine then, with that respect, how much we were so far to avoid the pain, avoid the irritation, avoid this thing. But I am categorically telling, don't go in search of frustration. What I am telling is, be happy with the already coming, arising one. I don't know whether it is clear enough. Don't go in search of frustration. That is utterly your self-mortification. But I am telling, accept the way it is coming because it is a messenger. Okay.
The next question is on walking and sitting meditation. Theruvan Saranai, Most Venerable Bhante. Being aware of body posture while walking, sitting and lying down, awareness of the common characteristics of the body during sitting down and walking meditation is present. Pleasant and unpleasant feelings were noted while eating, sitting down and walking. Some thoughts came from somewhere which created very unpleasant feelings. Sitting meditation. Sitting down meditation has become shorter than before. After 30 to 40 minutes, I feel that the mind cannot take up any more. So I stop and look at the jungle or just walk. By looking at the jungle, I feel it is more elegant and beautiful as it has been taken from as if it has been taken from a zoomed camera. Greatly appreciate your valued discussion and advice. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you always.
This also there's a one sentence telling, I felt enough, and then look into the forest.
Yes.
Can you read that enough sentence?
After 30 to 40 minutes, I feel that the mind cannot take up any more.
So that means that that is the break-even point. And then you can look at, no problem. What I am telling is, that break-even point, now you know, now is now. When you compare the last sitting, is it an advancement for the last sitting? Or is that still you can, the time you put up with is increasing, that means the progress. Even then after a while you break-even point happen. Next day also happen, but in the higher level. Next day also it happen, it's at the higher level. And you are face-to-face with the problem, face-to-face with the friction, face-to-face with this frustration is day by day increasing. Daily you are giving up, daily you are defeated, daily you are at the break-even point, but day by day you know, you are not giving it up at the early stage. You just go further and then give up. Next day you still go further.
Venerable Sir, may I read the sentence just before that?
Yeah.
Sitting down meditation has become shorter than before. After 30 to 40 minutes, I feel like the mind cannot take up any more.
That is the time period you are sitting. Yeah. But I am telling with whenever you are face to face with single object, the frustration, boredom, monotony arises. You give up, nothing to worry. But that today you give up, but tomorrow, for example, today you give up at the 30. And tomorrow you will go up to the 31 and give up. And day after it goes to the 32, 34, 35. But the tricky point is you can't gauge, you can't guess whether it is increasing or decreasing, otherwise it's a big leap. So therefore the Buddha says, it is taken to grant, definitely it is increasing. Today you give up at the 30. Tomorrow if you are doing the same way, you will not give up at the 30, you will wait to the 31 and then give up. Day after 32, 34, 35, 36. And after long time only you can see, still you are giving up. But not at the early stages. The tolerance level increases. Resistance level increases. This is the ultimate yardstick for your development into meditation. So therefore give up, no problem. But give up not at the early stage. One split second more, one split second more, one split second more. Likewise, when you are doing yoga exercises, when you go to the yoga posture, it is kind of the wrestling like. And go to the last posture and do little breathing. Then there's a kind of packing. And next time also go to that end and do 2 more breathing. And then your body is getting acclimatized and the season. And next day again you go there. Likewise, at the last break-even point, you make it season. You make it leathery-like. You make it malleable, make it versatile. I doubt whether I am communicating properly, and that is what the meditation is. Day by day you go and come back, but never give up at the yesterday level. Today you go little further. Tomorrow go little further. Can someone input into good other way of presentation? My English is no good to explain it. Did Lakshmi get the point?
But I think you explain it.
Yeah. Did you understand it? No.
Most Venerable Bhante, I understood what you mentioned.
So please help me.
And from, say, I get the boredom at 30 to 40 minutes. And if I get today at 30 minutes, tomorrow or next sitting, do it little bit more. In seconds or in minutes.
Let it happen. Still 1 split second more. 1 second more. 1 second more. Likewise, 30, 31, 32. Not the minutes I am talking. Whatever may be your unit.
Yes.
Don't give up at the yesterday's level. Go for gain one another unit. One another second. One another third minute. One another breath. One another left and right. Like when you go in there, you can see break even happen, but it is advancing.
Yes. Thank you, Bhante.
Most Venerable Dhammajiva Swamin Vahansa, this is on sitting meditation. My object of meditation is here now I am. This is because though I start observing breath, it very soon becomes too subtle. My body margins too are difficult to define. Instead, there is a coolness and lightness. Then with times and sitting, I observe vibrations dispersed with tightness, which later becomes a mass of vibrations. Blissful, the next word I can't read. Blissful something is also experienced, and sometimes expansion and contraction. At times it is as if an ever-expanding balloon reminding me of the mother frog that burst trying to imitate how big a cow is to the baby frog who saw one. It makes me smile. Then soon there is a calm and quiet, no bliss, in which continued observations of vibrations go on with a radiant glow in the whole. Darshana Pataya. Darshana Pataya, which keeps me alert. I continue just being mindful. Is this Dhammanupassana? As I am then observing fully who I am, devoid of thoughts and feelings, thanking you most humbly for your guidance and blessings.
I don't know what is the label you can put it. Soon you put the label, it becomes filthy. Don't put the label. But anyway, when and where you start to feel vibration or a flux, the me and not me boundary is disappearing. That is the point where your language loses its grip. So when and where you know this is me, this is not me, then you feel security and identity, discrimination. But when everything going to become a vibration, it's expansion and contraction. And what is the me and not me boundary? Very difficult. So for some people it is almost like committing suicide. Because they are so recognized with their limits. But the person who understands the limit is a limitation, they are so happy when there is no boundary. So therefore experience the same, but two people will interpret in two ways. So example given is, when in the highly humid area, humid places, the beehive all the bees are in the hive and you can see the shape, like apple shape, the beehive. But when the sun arises, bees are running for their day-to-day chorus and now nothing. But it is not a damage to the beehive. Bees are at home, at work. So likewise the me and my mind situation, bees are at the hive. You can see the shape, the color, the manner and everything. But when the particle happens, just like bees gone for flowers, you can't see the hive. It's dispersed. No boundary, you can't say this hive, but bees are different. So that is the way the Buddha explained, whenever agglomeration happens, egotistic idea happens. Whenever the disagglomeration disappears, the ego can't get the footing. And some people become happy, some people commit suicide, some people kill themselves. It's almost like killing. So this is the point where you can see whether you are mentally healthy or not, physically healthy or not. If you are not mentally healthy, you will come out with a lot of cock and bull stories. All the mystics comes in. All your perception will be at risk. So the person go there and coming back, no boundary and boundary, me and not me have, me and not me not have. So both we can cater. That's the way you become mature enough, prepare for your advancement. Otherwise you get stuck in this point because things become mystics. Things become the vapor evaporating, again conglomerating, again evaporating, again agglomerating. It becomes a very big bottleneck or a threshold for the thinking kind of people. But if you are with the radical reflection, if you are with the Nibbana as your objective, you have to do it, master it 1001 times. At a time you can see the hive, at a time bees are at home, at work. So like us, you are just like a particles, and again you become a male or female or this and that. Again it becomes particle. So this evaporation and again agglomeration is a nice test to see whether you are mentally healthy or physically healthy. So each and every step, your balance is being checked. So this trip is only for people with sound mentality and the physicality. Otherwise very difficult, because they are acid test like. They are competitive, decisive exams like. So that is the point where ego is identifiable as far as the agglomeration. When it is dispersed, no ego. Whenever it is agglomerated, you can explain by language. But when dispersed, you can't explain. And whenever agglomerated, the boundary is there. Limits, manner, or measurements. Whenever dispersed, you can't measure. So this is the point in language, in English we call, we are going to unknown. We are going to immeasurable. We are going to unexplainable. We are going to boundary to the non-boundary. And are we ready? Are we strong enough mentally to go there and come back? And once you do with preparedness, in 1001 times is still the same. Do it in 1001 times. That's the point you can say, a tadpole becoming a frog. The frog can live in the water as well as in the dry land. But the tadpole, only water. The same tadpole evolved, metamorphosized into a frog. When the wind becomes frog, it can live in water as well as in the ground, air. That is called amphibian. So we are also like starting only with the agglomeration. Now with the Buddha, we go to the completely dispersed. Still, we can become agglomerated. Still when you agglomerate, we can become evaporated. So play it with. Then each time when you agglomerated, a strange thing happened, rejuvenation it is called. You become young. Each time from the evaporated portion, when you become agglomerated, you become refreshed. You become young. Otherwise, young tama. Good, but you are so afraid of. You are so have the phobia. You have so much the conservative to only recognize with this agglomerated form. Each and everything considers a challenge, but Buddha is, you can see, half smile, look at you. These bloody old crock, fool, idiots. Whenever meditation is going to go, they stop it and bring it back and put the army into the barrack. Never go to the battlefield. The bees are always at the hive, they are not collecting honey. So let the sun rise, let the bees go, collect their honey and the pollen, and then they will come back, nothing to worry. We will go to the next question.
The next question is in two parts. They are based on yesterday's sermon. Most Venerable Bhante, seeking clarifications on two matters arising out of yesterday's Q&A session. How does one know when to do autopiloting while in sitting meditation? And the second question on spiritual life. Could you please explain how to overcome spiritual materialism? Thank you.
The first one is that put to autopiloting. Some people are born with that character. They are risk lovers kind of people. Other people are driven by the risk, they never happy for experimenting, so they ask technical advice to put into autopiloting. There is no such. Do experiment. Whenever you note it and keep the object in with, try to keep the object in with without noting. And see, if the object is in view with noting or without noting is better. So that is the way when you are raising children, let the children to get their job done. Don't fork fingers and go behind and forward. See, and just have overlook, and then you can see there, they can catch there. You can see how the dogs are making their puppies, training. Birds, monkeys, cats. Only the human beings never allow children to do something. Always doing so, ultimately they become naughty. Let them happen, let them go. That's the way my mother did. She can't look at us when we are 10 people in the all around, that where to look. Say by 2 by 2 morning, put out myself and my brother, 2 elder sisters, 2 young sisters, they have to go together. And it's put outside, more evening they take it inside, that's all mother can do. Whatever they do, go out, and when they are coming, they don't know. You have to take the responsibility. Likewise, when the meditation is ready, go even without nodding, try. So the best example is, when do you know how to put into the first gear to the second gear in driving? Who is teaching you? And second gear to the third gear. Third gear to the top gear. It depends on the load, on the ramp, on the horsepower, on the acceleration. When the things happen, you know. So therefore it is a kind of a trial and error. Whenever things are ready to go for in effortless way, just put it and see. That is what you call the noble quest. It's a good question, but difficult to answer. The spiritual materialism is, you do little practice and again completely go 6 months without practicing. Again start with the ABCD, again you go. It is called the chameleon yogi. You know the chameleons, when you go for a prey, they run fast and stop it. They just wave their head and just wait. And again run another lap and you, that is Pandita Sayadaw is studying. You do 10-day retreat honestly and ardently, and then go our parties and all the kind of, and another 6 months and say, Bhante, you see, when we go home, so nothing, every trend is broken. Yes. So once the momentum gathered, how to maintain is your utter responsibility. That is your moral responsibility. And if you lose it again and again starting, that is what you call materialism, like spiritual materialism. You are not respecting the early momentum you develop. And again you have to start like a beginner. So ultimately you will understand it's no go, because I am gathering the momentum and again losing, again the gathering momentum, and then one day you will make a determination, no, I will sacrifice anything, just maintain the gathering. It is called Utthana Sampada and Arakha Sampada. Utthana Sampada is something earning. Arakha Sampada is protecting and giving a protection to your wealth. So likewise, whenever you develop kind of a mindfulness, if you are not protecting it, it is completely evaporated, and again you have to start. So therefore, whenever you get up and go, see from the sitting posture how the standing up posture happens and how much you can maintain the mindfulness. And then go for walking meditation, see how much the connection from the sitting to walking. And again come and sit and see how again you can bring the certain amount of mindfulness to the sitting. Likewise, the continuity is like a thread in a garland. If it is broken, everything will be scattered. So that is called as a chameleon yogi, or kind of a spiritual wastage or materialism. It is consumerization, I would say.
The last question, Venerable Sir, is also on the Dhammadeshana. Swamin Vahansa, this question pertains to the Dhamma talk, day 3. In Dhamma talk, you said there are certain things under carpet. Though we clean the floor, things under carpet remain hidden, i.e. Kama Guna, Kama Sangha. Kama Sanya. Please be kind enough to explain the nature, existence and survival of those with metta. May you attain your spiritual aspirations as you wish.
So, to give an example, whenever you are transgressing, or whenever you are in the transgressional level of defilements, yet another person must know that is what we call the transgression. You have to kill someone. One person is killing another living being, that's a transgression. You are robbing someone's thing, that is a transgression. Sexually misconduct with another person, lying, slandering, harsh word and the tail carrying, some other person must get misdirected. Then only they become transgression. But when you are in the sensual desire in the mind, no another person infested yet. But it is within the mind, it is obsessed. You know, I am now working with desire, but no one knows it is not been manifested, it is not been put into practice. So what is put into practice called the gross defilements, you can see above the carpet. But even if you are not committed, still you are obsessed with the desire, obsessed with the anger, no one can feel, but definitely you can feel. That is more subtle, that is like under the carpet. So when you raise the carpet, you can see, even though outside you are not killing, stealing, sexual, nothing. But the mind is fully obsessed. So therefore this refined form, it has its own intrinsic characteristics compared with the gross characteristics. So that is how defilements have been cut into 3. The obsessional, transgressional, obsessional and tendencies, directed dispositions or underlying tendencies. So these 3 are different metamorphoses of the defilements. So you have to, the transgressional kind, the medicine is called moral restraint. Obsessional defilements, if obsession defilement as a disease, the therapy or the medicine is concentration training or restraint. And for the anusaya or underlying type, it is only with the wisdom training, wisdom restraint. So 3 defilements, 3 diseases, 3 medicine, Don't expect with moral training, concentration benefits. No. Moral training means moral benefits. Concentration training is a different set of instructions and different sets of answers, different methodology. Of course, the first one is qualifying for the second one. So therefore, once qualified, you have to go for the next set of instructions and dealing with the next set of defilements and next set of experience. And once this is both finished, then you become qualified for, in the literal terms, obsession, the underlying tendencies, anusayas, and then more wisdom training. So likewise, day by day you are qualifying to go to the deeper levels. So if you are, even though you go there, and if you are not maintaining the lower status, the moral restraint and the concentration restraint, no continuation happen. That is what the spiritual materialism or spiritual consumerization we call. Life is very difficult. Because you have so much of responsibilities and kind of things. So therefore, after the retreat, very difficult to maintain this timetable. Very difficult to maintain these precepts. Very difficult to have this kind of a meditators right now. So these are the things we lose, the potential will be discharged. So that is the sorry.com.
The other questions we will leave for tomorrow, Venerable Sir.
Yeah, which is almost 1 hour.
Yes. It's 1 hour now.
Okay, then we'll take time for the walking meditation and we'll be meeting here at 3 o'clock. With this announcement, we are going to end up the question and answer session. Thank you very much for the participation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.